Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Only Football. Champions League is back, and Mike's a happy camper for the wrong sport.
It's still football, so we can still talk about it.
It's only football now. It's in quotations now.
No, just for today. Just for today. Got to show off the Rams.
Really tried to get Tony up there, propped him up and everything. Camera's still on. Sorry, buddy. Just gonna put you down.
It's all good. He's well, I guess he's excited for Champions League football, right? Tony?
Why?
Is Sevilla? Are they
In Europa.
Oh, they are in Europa.
And he should be excited because they win Europa. That's just what they do. He's coming home with a solid piece of silverware in a few months. It's almost already a lock.
Hopefully. But yeah, it was a good weekend,
Yeah, congrats on the Rams. Yeah.
A nice way to start us off into Champions League football. I'm excited again. Very excited. But not for Juve. But Juve, hopefully, if they get to the semi, they'll be very happy. Doubt it, though.
I'm actually just going to put us on just to make sure that our volume's okay here. See if... Oh, I just killed the podcast. Let's put us on. Yeah, okay. We're good. Volume's okay here. Excellent.
Wow.
All right. Let's delete that. La, 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 la. Hey, podcasters. Welcome back. Just had to start over for a second. Yeah, well, congrats, man. Kronke wins as well. Glazers and Kronke back-to-back Super Bowls. Look at that, eh? Who says they don't care about their respective teams?
Yeah, but they don't. Well, does this mean Arsenal's going to lose this weekend? Pencil it in.
I don't know how United did the following weekend after when the Bucks won last year. But, yeah, look at them go. Look at them go. Prize money. they have prize money in the NFL like that?
I said probably, but that money will probably stay with LA when it won't make its way across the Atlantic Ocean to Arsenal.
Mm-mm. Not a chance. I mean, LA's on the far side of the continent too. It's just too far. It's too far. Maybe
this happened a month ago. They're all up in high, and they put in more for Vlahovic or a striker, an out-and-out striker.
Maybe. That's a good point. Actually, I wonder. Probably not.
They're pushing for the Super Bowl to be early January next year, right? So they can make their decision.
Yeah. All right. Well, Champions League's back. We're gonna open up a little Serie A recap because there were some big matches and big results on the weekend, and then we'll go into the Champions League. We'll review what happened today and preview tomorrow, and then we'll finish off with some PL for the weekend because this is our episode for the week. So. We're going far in the future.
Far in the future.
Yep, that's right. We're jumping. We'll get to 2 episodes a week eventually. Okay, Mike. Serie A. Let's open up with Napoli-Inter. And
I thought we were doing Atalanta-Juve first.
Okay, fine. Atalanta-Juve. Sorry.
Let's just get it out of the way. Well, with both games, it kept it interesting for both reasons. Our game. The race for top 4 didn't change.
It still would have been interesting. Okay, last week you're saying if we lose this, it's done. Absolutely not. It was not a be-all and end-all.
Not done, but I said it's very unlikely.
Not even that. Very unlikely is still a little much. You would have been what? They would
4 points back.
And they had a game in hand?
Yes.
Is that right? No.
No, we stayed 2 points up, but if they'd won, they would have been one point up with the game in hand.
Let's calm down a little bit, all right? You're very fatalist when it comes to Juve.
Yeah, they're my team, obviously. I have an emotional attachment to it, but
set that bar real low.
This pretty much. Do you think either of these teams can catch up to third? I think that it just solidified these 2 teams coming fourth, and the other result solidified one of those 3 teams winning it all.
I have been espousing for quite the last few months. Napoli dropping off, and they're holding steadfast. And I think we have a 3-team race in this area.
Yeah,
which is great. Obviously we do. It's like right on paper. It's right there. I'm not like we might have a 3-team race. Clearly we do. But yeah, I don't see actually any of those teams dropping into the top 4 race.
Yeah.
Like they might fall out of the title race, the Scudetto race eventually, but not enough to to actually just collapse and not finish in the top 4 or scrape top 4.
Yeah, I agree, and it sucks, having to concede the lead, the league, and maybe even a safer safe zone in top 4 by getting third, and getting that extra bit of prize pool that would be handed out for next year for transfers. But top 4 is the only focus now. Obviously, we still got the Coppa Italia, but it was a great clawback. I don't think we should have went down 1-0. I think we should have buried our chances earlier. But having conceded relatively late in the 77th, 78th minute, and fighting back.
Hatibor missing as well.
Yeah, I think he was offside though. I think
I
obviously
wouldn't
would have
mind
been
seeing that
reviewed.
back. I know, like I popped in, like we were getting ready for this, like we're hanging around watching the Super Bowl. We weren't watching the Super Bowl then, but that's what we were there for. And I feel like he was onside.
No, I think he was like half a step offside.
Yeah.
It would have been reviewed anyways if it was a goal. But yeah, he should finish that.
Yeah.
That was shortly before.
Yeah, it was the 6-yard box, and he's put it off the crossbar. Like it was a tap in.
Yeah.
He just had to take on the side foot for the volley, and that was it.
And then you ask the questions of VAR, and if it stands, it stands. The game's over. Move back into a fourth with the game in hand and have all this momentum for the rest of the season. And you would have pulled off the double against Juve, which they've never done. They didn't beat Juve until early in the year, first time in like 30 years at Juve. But it's still. We still got some new pieces. Hopefully they can gel and, do something to secure the top 4 to be able to play in Champions League next year. And also, make a run at Champions League or even the Coppa Italia and bring home silverware to keep some sort of winning mentality at Juve.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I can't stand this when people say, like, you can't win everything every year. You can't. There's obviously a little drop off with Juve, but I think they're building back better. But you know what? Quickly, we were talking about that top 4 race and whether or not it's kind of solidified for those 3. We're saying it now. Honestly, like things change so quickly, and we could be here next week, and things could have changed drastically. Juve and Atalanta could win. Napoli could lose. And if that happens. We're not saying that it's by any stretch out of the imagination for Napoli to or someone, one of the 3, to drop into that race. I mean, let's just say that were to happen. Juve's then 4 points behind Napoli. Atalanta 5 points with the game in hand. It could turn on a dime just like that.
Yeah.
It really could. And and Napoli do have Barcelona on Thursday as well, so that might take a little bit out of them.
Yeah, and even being in Europa League, trying to make a push in that. But if I was them, I'd put all my eggs in the
top 4 best.
Yeah,
but they're not going to.
Yeah, no.
They're going to approach the Barcelona.
Good for us, hopefully. But hopefully, if a team is going to win the league other than Juve, hopefully it's not Inter. So if AC can't do it, hopefully Napoli can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Atalanta have Olympiacos on Thursday as well, so. We'll see what happens there, and that's a much easier matchup than Barcelona, so they can kind of rotate a little bit. But yeah, you know what? I'm kind of recanting on. I'm kind of reneging on the whole. It's just between Juve and Atalanta for the top 4. We're out of those teams. Lazio could still get in there as well.
No,
I don't think so. No. I don't think so. But they are like Lazio aren't out of it.
No, they're not.
So that's all I'm saying.
They are.
I do agree with that. And you know what, Napoli, they sat us down too because we were both quite confident that Inter would kind of just control that game and get the result. And
they didn't.
No, they did not.
They didn't, and it was they got what they did. Napoli scored in the first half, right? First 30 minutes.
No, 4. They got a penalty in the 4th minute.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then they VAR'd it and they scored in the 7th.
That's what it was, and I think if it wasn't for that that early goal helped them for sure. And it's good that Inter walk out of the past week and a bit with only 1 point out of 6, and the title race is open again. Thank God. We wanted either Napoli win or tie, or just Inter drop points. Napoli, you know what? They played well, better than I thought. They scrapped and clawed. There were instances where either team could have won, but I think the draw was the deserved result. How did you see the game?
Well, yeah. So no, actually, I did watch that match, and I guess when it comes down to it, it is deserved. Like Napoli, we're steadfast and did what they could in that match to kind of frustrate Inter. Inter didn't blow me away. Like they were pushing near the end after they tied it up, and I did miss. They tied it right after the first half, and
Yeah.
I was working and I missed it. It was like 3 minutes into the first half. And you think that might give them enough time, more than enough time, to go and get that win. But you still have to be as Inter, like you still have to be weary of Napoli 100%. And they didn't swamp them. It wasn't like a barrage of chances really by either team. So yeah, I do think 1-1 was good and a fair result, as you said. And I think Napoli, that's what you needed really. Like the win would have been great. But now you are actually just hanging out for that skid out. Like you're touching.
You're right in there.
Yeah.
Right in there.
Yeah, 2 points back. Okay. Champions League. I didn't watch any City.
I was planning on watching a few minutes, but after I checked, after 10 minutes, it was 1-0 already, and then it was shortly 2-0,
and then shortly 3-0.
And it just kept going. I'm like, wow, this tie went. I think both of us would have picked City to go through, but against Sporting, I thought it'd be a closer tie than people thought.
At least for the first leg in Portugal.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised myself. Sporting have a good defensive record over the last couple of seasons. I've heard good things. I don't get to watch Sporting, but I've heard really good things about Amarin, their manager.
Yeah, he's young.
And I think he's going to be garnering some attention this offseason with the likes of Ten Hag. But defensively good. They don't floor teams offensively, but they have attacking talent, and there's a really well organized and sound team when you look at how they do in the super the Portuguese league. What do they call it? Was it the Superliga?
No, it's the Primavera something. I don't think it's Superliga, is it?
Liga Portugal, according to that seems a little off to me. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, and a midfield that can do a job as well. Like you got Paulinho in there, and you have threats up top with Goncalves and Sarabia
from PSG.
So
and then Nuno Mendes.
Yeah, just to keep you honest. But City sent a message.
They did, and were they just outmatched against City?
Yes.
I think they were going to be, but I didn't think it'd be that drastic.
Yeah, I thought they'd keep it tight a little bit. Yeah, I was thinking like 2-0 in that match.
Well, after 2-0 in I think the first 12 minutes, they were just ejected, right? And then you can't show defeat. You gotta fight through those little spells where it's not going away. Horrific start, but if you just hold on, weather the storm. You can maybe get a 5-10 minute burst where you're in dominant possession, and if you squeak one in, 2-1. There's no away rule now, and do I agree with that? No. It takes away from
let's talk about that quick. No away goals, which we kind of spaced on until I was looking through some articles at previews and whatnot, and then I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't think they incorporated the no away goal rule for the season. Sure enough, they did. I mean, it shouldn't be a thing anyway. I thought we had one more year of grace.
I would hope, but it doesn't. I hope they renege on this and change it after a year or two, because
you're definitely getting next year.
Part of Champions League football is having that away goal rule, which pretty much counts as a goal and a half if it comes down to tiebreakers, and it gives like a unique aspect to the competition. And now it's just doesn't matter as long as you can dominate one game, or even I don't know. I just setting up for an away game, knowing what you have to do the second game kind of influence what makes Champions League. It's like, okay, like, you know what, we're down 2 goals in aggregate, but if we can close out a 2-0 road win, we can still go through on away goals. And now it just
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's just
we're both in agreement that what they should have done was to simply eliminate the road goals rule in extra time.
Yes, once it gets extra time, home or away, it shouldn't matter. Home is already getting an advantage because they're at home for those 30 minutes. That game only gets played once.
Now they have a complete advantage for the whole tie, really. You have if you're the home team, like we were talking about this before we started, like if you're the home team and you know that you're at home if you are the team that's going to be at home in the second leg, I mean, yeah, like Real today, PSG put in a great performance, and they would have been hard done by not to get the win. But if you're not going to take your chances and you don't, that's on you. They ended up getting it, but I think Real had 2 shots total. I don't know if any were on target.
One was on target,
and PSG had like a good 7, 8, I think maybe 8 or 9 shots on target. I think over 20 shots in total. And they come away with a 1-0 win. You have the result. Real have to win at home. But I think Real actually set up defensively. They
was differently
than you might have if you could just go for a road goal and you really put the pressure on PSG in that sense. Now it's like, okay, you know what?
0-0.
0-0 is perfect.
Benzema's not really up to shape. Up to speed yet. It was his first game back. He played longer than I thought once he started. I thought he would either come off the bench, but once he started, I'm like, oh, he'd probably come off 60th minute. He came off 88th. And yeah, I think it showed that they were just too defensive, and they didn't. I know they've been struggling the past 3 or 4 games. I think they only have 1 goal in the last 3 games without Benzema, and they've been struggling in their league to score, but they've been still playing well defensively. Today they did get lucky a few times, obviously with the penalty and a few missed chances by PSG that they should have taken, but they didn't have any sort of chance or play in any type of style that you would make the neutral fan say they deserve to tie, right? I think a tie was a lucky result for them based on the way they played.
Absolutely.
And they
were
happy. They were happy with, I think, a 0-0. But going into it, it's like if you can win this 1-0, obviously there's no road goal, but if it was a road goal, it would be even bigger, and it would force PSG to play a different style in the second game.
Absolutely.
Now they can just sit back and PSG is probably going to take the same approach. Like, okay, we'll just sit back. You have to score, and then hit you on the break with 3 of the top 10 players in the world.
Absolutely, and there's way more. And you know what? And fair play to PSG for that, because there's obviously way more onus on Real to do so. Whereas if they had the road goal rule, Real
game would have been a lot more exciting.
Absolutely. I think it still was exciting, but it was just one-sided.
Yeah,
it would have been a lot more balanced. Like Real would be looking to just get that goal, even a 0-0. Would you be happy with a 0-0? I mean, yes, you get the draw on the road in Paris. I understand that, but it's still 0-0, and it's like, okay, well, if PSG score,
now we have to score twice.
You have to score twice. It changes the complexion completely. Yeah. And I think, just based on that, which was an enjoyable game, thanks to PSG.
Yeah.
We're already seeing the drawbacks of this rule.
And hopefully it doesn't continue, but we'll see.
We're getting for at least 1 more year, at least. Because this is the first year, I guess maybe I'm being biased because I was a little blindsided by it again, that they incorporated it for this season. So I think now that, they kind of, when did they announce that?
It was August.
Yeah,
they did it a week or 2 before the first round of those qualifying rounds, because then it matters for that as well, right? So they had to do it right from the beginning. I remember they announced it, but I was just I didn't realize until halftime when they were coming back on the second half. They're like, oh yeah, with the away goal rule taken. I was like, oh my God, I forgot. I was so pissed.
Is Arsene Wenger just now that he's not actually really relevant, apart from the fact that he's just muddying the waters?
Is he a UEFA representative?
Does he just not watch? I think it's FIFA actually. I think it was FIFA, but I feel like he was pushing for this.
He was, when he was a manager.
Yeah, this guy's not wanting him to enjoy football anymore. What is his deal?
I know, and it's just so many memorable games, or Champions League games are memorable because of the away goal rule. Like I think of all the Champions League moments, it was like last second goals, and it was just because it was an away goal. There was Iniesta against Chelsea, broke their heart.
United against PSG.
Yes, yeah, Rashford penalty. There's so many big moments where a game like that wouldn't have been as special if it wasn't.
Wouldn't happen.
Away.
Yeah,
exactly.
It just wouldn't happen. Would have changed nothing. Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely concordance on that. Let's move on to preview for tomorrow. Let's open Salzburg Bayern. Salzburg hosting Bayern, and if you're Salzburg, just, go out there and have some fun.
Does Nagelsmann have some deep line connection to make this tie more interesting, or does he have to give Red Bull a goal or two?
You getting the tinfoil hat on right now?
No, I wish.
Didn't manage Salzburg, but the Red Bull.
He was part of the Red Bull family.
Yes. The Raisin Balls family.
Yeah, Salzburg have nothing to lose. Hopefully, they do play, still to their style and not come out like Real did today and just try and hold on since the away goal isn't coming. But knowing them, it's like hopefully Bayern just scores an early goal to make them play out of their shell, and then if you happen to tie, don't go right back to defensive shell.
I wouldn't be surprised if Salzburg, actually are the ones to get the goal.
They had to go out and get it
just to score first. I think you can kind of catch them off guard. Again, Bayern's defense needs work, for sure.
Yes,
it does. I like McConnell, but he's not the refined veteran that hopefully he can become. Sula, he's never wowed me by any stretch. He's solid, but there's enough attacking prowess. I'm not going to be watching this match because I'm going to be watching Inter Liverpool, but I would have really liked to take a closer look at Adeyemi, the young striker. Is he German?
On Salzburg?
On Salzburg, yeah, he is German. Yeah. It seems like there's a decent chance that he might be going to Dortmund at the end of the year, but I would like to keep an eye on him and see what else they got going on. What's Aronson about? I've heard good things about Okafor.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be making goals in this one.
Well, it's Bayern.
It is Bayern. It's also Salzburg. I'm going 4-2.
4-2
for Bayern.
No, I would go 3-1. 3-1. And then I think it could be 4-2 in Bayern. But I think Bayern would just do enough. It'll be 2-0 at half, and then a 1-1 in the second half. A pretty standard win by Bayern. Again, as you said, defensively, they've been bailing themselves out with offense this year, and last game, even in the Bundesliga, they got torched in the first half. It was 4-1. They even scored first.
They did.
And let up 4.
Bochum scored 4 goals in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It was maybe 15. That wasn't like that. But
yeah, it was 4. Yeah, it was like the 30th minute they tied it, and then it was 4-1 at half. So.
I'm glad you brought that up. Do you think that result on the weekend against Bochum for Bayern, obviously none of the teams going to be happy about that. Do you think it kind of changes their approach for this, just to be not to say that they're scared that they're gonna they can come out and just play their style and try to run and gun and outscore Salzburg, which I'm sure they know they could and 90% of the time would. But do you think the fact that they just might be a little irked at the fact that they conceded 4 on the weekend against Bochum of all teams?
Well,
do you think these kind of change with a more pragmatic approach and just try to set themselves up for a more defensive mindset down the stretch?
Yeah, they'll be more aware defensively, and I think that'll be the focus, knowing that they can outscore them and probably will. But just to reduce the amount of mistakes that they're making, because it wasn't even that game. It's been a month now. They've just been conceding 2 goals a game or 1 goal or to bad teams. And even didn't they lose the cup, or was it the league where they lost to Mönchengladbach 5-2?
That was that was way back. That was way back in the cup.
But didn't they lose?
They lost to Gladbach 5. Was it 5-0?
That was the cup, and I think they lost to them 4-2.
1-0.
4.
No, it was 1-0.
It was 1-0?
Yeah, it was at the beginning. It was the first game back after the winter break.
Okay. Well, I think they had 2 losses since the winter break.
Well, Bochum.
Bochum. But wasn't there a third? I swear. Maybe.
Gladbach 2-1. Pardon me. It was 2-1.
It was 2-1. Okay, but that was the only loss.
That was it.
Okay. That was it. But they did beat Red Bull 3-2, right? And they beat Dortmund
3-2.
they've been letting in multiple goals like a lot
They didn't play
recently.
Dortmund. They didn't play Dortmund.
Not Dortmund, but yeah, it was Red Bull 3-2.
3-2, yes.
And I think another team they beat.
That was better. They beat Hertha 4-1. That's about it.
But that's bad for them defensively.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? I think that's an area that they're going to look at in the future, especially because of losing Sula. I mean, like, you know, even if they had Sula, I still think, you know, you'd have to be looking at another center back for them.
Yeah. Especially losing Alaba,
and
who was a converted center back.
Might be looking at another striker as well. There's plenty of strikers out there they can get. I think, you know, I wouldn't mind getting Patrick Schick in at United, but I think Patrick Schick might be an adequate replacement
for Lewandowski.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy's just firing them in. And you know what? And you put someone in that team like him who you know can. He's I think he's 26, so you know he's in his prime as well. He's got plenty of years left, so I think that's a good fit for them actually.
And he knows the league.
And he knows the league and the Bundesliga teams. They still have to give their best players to Bayern. They can't help themselves.
I know. I wish Italy still did that with the Juve. Only Fiorentina. We only got one team.
Okay, the big one for tomorrow: Inter Real. Sorry, Inter Liverpool. What? This is a slip. Speaking of slips, let's talk about Liverpool.
Oh wow, let's go.
I'm just bitter and just jaded United fan. Okay, that's all.
But you'd rather face Inter?
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I'm just saying I'm a bitter jaded United fan. I had to throw in a dig at Gerrard. Classless, really. But Mike, why don't you open this up here? I thought Liverpool was at home for this, and up until like. Later on,
no, they're the better team. The better team has the
home field advantage.
But Inter's at home, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's how it should be. The second, whoever came second in the group starts off. With the
yeah.
That's how it works. But Inter need to win this game if they have a shot to win the tie. They have to go into Anfield with a lead. I think they have to hold on to. Will they be able to? Klopp said that. Obviously Mane and Salah don't drink, so either for both of them making it to the finals of AFCON, Mane staying in Senegal a bit longer than Salah, who came pretty much right back and was still fit. And they said it's incredible. They're machines, and it helps that they don't drink, or else he wouldn't have thrown them back in against Burnley. Was it Leicester? Right away.
Well, Mane didn't play that match.
No, Mane didn't. But he started the match. He was back for it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, they both had a great AFCON, so they're still in form to get their teams there. It would have been nice for it. Well, thank God it wasn't. But for Inter's point of view, it would have been good if one of them was not playing. Although Jota has been in fine form. You can't get hung up on that. Like it wasn't going to happen. It was too far away from AFCON anyway. So they have to win the midfield if they have a chance. Inter.
It's going to be they need to keep it interesting. They need to keep it somewhat level. I don't know if like them winning the midfield is necessarily even an option. I like Inter's midfield.
You don't think they have a chance to win midfield? They have to stop
Barella's going to play with skin. I don't think Brozovic. I don't think Brozovic is up for this kind of battle. I just don't.
What, shutting down Fabinho? That would be his role, to take away Fabinho, right? And you would want, obviously, Liverpool play pretty direct to begin with, but you would want them having to skip the midfield. I feel so if Liverpool can get one of those midfielders off and going, and spring either Salah or Mane right away, and not having to do a long direct one where it gives Inter's defense time to adjust. That's where Liverpool's going to get most of the goals, like quick passes from the midfield, springing those two on the wings and having those go 3-on-3. Pretty much, that's their game plan. But if you could take away the middle, make Liverpool have to beat you with passes in your zone. Mm-hmm. Which they do struggle to do. They don't struggle. They obviously have world-class players, but
they don't break down.
They don't break. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if they beat you that way, then they beat you that way. But that's your best chance of beating them. And
so you see a lot of sitting back on Inter's part?
Not sitting back. Oh, either that, and when they get the ball, they're going to try and possess it for long periods to frustrate
and then break them down.
Yes. I think that should be the game plan. And to do that, the midfield's going to have to work hard when they don't have the ball, and be smart when they have the ball. Because if you have the ball, Liverpool can't score. That's simple with any soccer, but you need to have possession in this, and you need your midfield to win the battle. I think for them to win.
Do you think that with now Inter like to they play 3-5-2. They like to use their wing backs a lot, but I don't think they even are as foregoing as Liverpool when it comes to using their fullbacks. They really push up. Like Liverpool they have two class center backs, don't get me wrong, but they can leave themselves exposed. That's the thing. Fabinho will be dropping back, like pushing Robertson and Arnold up, respectively, depending on what side the ball's coming down on. Do you think that this could be like Inter just looking to be hitting them on the break?
I think their wingbacks will be more defensively sound against Liverpool. And more focus on shutting down the options of Robertson and Alexander Arnold.
Okay.
And make Liverpool have to break them through the middle.
So
will they be given chances to go forward only once they get a certain
a big break, like a big counter? So
yes.
I mean, Klopp, when you're approaching this match, is this something that you need to be wary of? Like, you're not giving Robinson and Arnold the license that you normally would.
I think you still do, but you
have to tone it back. You have to tone it back a little bit.
Be selective. You can't do it all the time, and read the situation, right? Yeah. Obviously, a lot of our success going forward is based on you guys, and you want to keep them on their back feet, on the heels, instead of just giving it up and having them outpossess you. But you just got to be more mindful. I would be more worried if I'm Klopp. I would speak more to Alexander Arnold because he's more prone to be getting caught defensively and out of position. Robertson, he feels smarter, and he doesn't go up as much as Arnold, but Arnold is slowly he pushes up to support Salah, but Robertson only goes up usually for overlapping runs. If the focus is on Arnold and no one's on the back post, he'll sneak in a few times to try and get a header. But most of the time, it's with someone else. Arnold might just go up by himself when Salah pushes up too far.
It is the beauty of having a player of Fabinho's ilk, though.
Yes,
I mean that is a third center back when you need him to be.
Yes.
And
Thiago does stay back a bit. He's not as strong. Obviously, he's not a ball winner, but he's there for support, and he's good with one touches. So if you played him into pressure, he can still relieve it and make a pass or even a back pass or control, take some pressure off, to give it back to you to do a long clearance and regroup from there.
Well, you know what? You're saying from an perspective, if you want to actually hopefully get a result of this match, you do have to kind of keep Liverpool, that is, at bay from the wings and make them break you down with some quick passing. Thiago is going to be integral for that, actually.
Yes.
He's going to have to be on if Inter's game plan is going to plan. If it's going ahead, then I think he's definitely the one who, should be getting frustrated on the wings, is going to have to start picking that pass.
I assume it'll be Fabinho, Thiago, and Henderson.
I would imagine. Because, I mean, anyone else other than Henderson isn't really helping too much. Keita, it would be Keita. That's the other one.
Yeah,
it's not Ox.
No.
I wonder. You know what?
I don't think
he likes Jones.
I think Jones will be a sub, but I don't think he'll be a starter.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair. And I think if Klopp is actually really looking to break them down and it's not working, you need to change it up. I think Jones is one you call upon.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that's a good call. Okay. I'm going 1-0 Liverpool.
1-0, eh?
Yeah.
I'm hoping for a 1-1. Just so it's interesting. I think Liverpool still wins the tie. 1-1 just because Inter's at home. I think we'll see Liverpool win by 2, maybe 3 at Anfield. It's just Anfield,
I don't think Inter's ready for that either. But let's see what kind of confidence they can gain from this match and what they can learn. Hopefully they can get a result. But I think the frustration, like the Inter frustration, will just get broken down a little bit. And I think Liverpool's, you approach it, I think, a little more pragmatically.
Yeah.
And they're very sound defensively. Despite how entertaining they're still very good defensively. Okay, Prem, 3 matches. Southampton, Everton. two teams, some good form, some exciting stuff from both of them in recent
That's
weeks.
good form for Everton because they had one win.
They
did lose to
They got
Newcastle.
smashed by Newcastle.
They did lose to Newcastle, but it was
they smashed Brentford in the FA Cup though.
They
right
did
before that.
But yeah, hopefully on the up and up for Everton. Southampton, great week. Going to North London, or pretty much taking out the North London teams, tying, and they tied Arsenal, right?
They didn't play Arsenal.
Sorry,
they beat Spurs.
They
tied United.
Sorry, beat Spurs, tied United.
And we're the far better team in that United match as well. And maybe a little unfortunate to actually also not get a win there.
But it's you never know with Southampton. I think they're starting to find it a bit. Broja, amazing. They're just taking Chelsea's youth with Livramento.
They're trying to get Broja
permanently.
Yeah.
And if I was him, I would be interested into it because break into that Chelsea team. Especially now, you have Werner, Havertz, Lukaku. You're not going to be seeing anytime soon, so you might as well actually get better as a player, time in, time out. Stay with Southampton. You seem to really play well with them. The whole team. It's I don't know. It's they are a good enough team to be top half of the league, but they're very inconsistent sometimes, and I know a bad stretch of games are coming because just when you're like, oh, Southampton, they're playing well, you bet on them, stinkers, and they've lost so many in a row, they're going to keep losing. Then
Jacqueline Hyde.
I know it's very frustrating. They're
missing obviously like the personnel. I like Hasenhüttl a lot actually. Big fan of him, but I think they need another center back. I think they need to kind of replace Bednarek at this point. I think we're getting there. If they really kind of want to, you have to keep the core together too, which with the team of Southampton, you can get cherry picked at any offseason. But it's the midfield. I like Diallo. I want to see him. He's been getting some good playing time this season. But but he's like more of like a holding, box to box, more holding, defensive minded kind of midfielder. And I like Prowse, but they really need someone in there that's like that can really like open up defenses. I feel like Prowse like an open play just kind of underwhelms me a little bit.
Only dead ball specialist.
He is. He's a total dead ball specialist. I'm not saying that he's useless. He's not.
Like, no, he's still
I think he's a good player, but I think like if they want to not be so inconsistent, I think like their attack's really nice. There's a lot of pieces there that what are they going to do? Like they have to take the chances. They do create a lot of chances, but they also concede a bunch as well. So it's just
I don't know. Ward-Prowse whipped in two similar balls against Tottenham.
When's the last time they've got a clean sheet? It's been a long time for Southampton. I think it's like I think it was Southampton that they're at like 14 or 15 games without a clean sheet, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a while. A lot of people drop Livramento at this point because they haven't got clean sheets.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long time. I think it seems, just scrolling quick, I think it was Villa. They beat Villa 1-0 at the beginning of November.
That's the last time they held a clean sheet?
In all competitions, the FA Cup included.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway. And then look at Everton. You had Donny dropped into the pivot, put in what many would argue a man-of-the-match performance in his first full 90 minutes in the Prem since I want to say against Wolves, which is the last game of the season for United last year. I believe that was his
first 90 minutes.
Yeah. I think he's already played
150. No,
I want to say he's played close to as many minutes as he did for United this season in the Prem.
Well, that was expected though.
He got 45 against Watford when he came on and put in like a man-of-the-match performance for United. Anyway, in that match,
for United,
absolutely pumped. But he was great. He scored a goal, got us back in the game, and created two great chances for Ronaldo. But yeah, he looked great. It's one game, but the thing is that he was never given that chance in that pivot, a bunk pivot at United. Never given that chance. It's mind-boggling, really. Who else do they have? Dele came on.
Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon.
He's playing well.
And you know what? Lampard. I am pulling. I think it was a great move for Lampard. I don't necessarily know if this is going to pan out for Everton. Hopefully, he's learnt some in his time off.
I think he has.
We'll see. It is early days. The goals are flowing in. They did concede 3 to Newcastle as well. So,
Newcastle's on the up and up, man. Don't disrespect them.
But Anthony Gordon is, I'm not really trying to, unfortunately. But Anthony Gordon, he does love a nice. He loves the English youth, Frank Lampard, and Anthony Gordon. I picked him up before this week. Paid off in fantasy.
You started him?
Goal and assist, yeah.
Yeah. They had Calvert-Lewin back. You will see more of what Everton are in these next 3-4 games and how good they can become. I don't know what the realistic goal for them is now. Obviously, safety is the realistic one. But, if they can finish somewhere near 12th, 11th,
sure.
Near mid-table, I think that would be a very good turnaround, especially, for Lampard himself and Everton, and, give some optimism going into next season. I think, although Southampton had a good week, I think the stinker's coming here. I think it won't be a stinker, but I think it'll be like a 2-0 Everton or like a 3-1 Everton. But I do see them winning by at least 2 goals Everton this.
Okay.
I'll go with 3-1. I'll give Southampton some credit and just chalk one down for Broja because he's is it Broja? It's Broja or is it Broja? Armando.
I think it's Broja.
Broja?
I believe it's Broja. Like 70% sure.
He's a man in form, and I take him to get one, but hopefully Calvert-Lewin gets 2.
Did you bring him back in?
Yeah, I did. DCL can't leave him out.
Southampton at home, but I am again like that. What's going on with that midfield battle is it's another this is a really big one I think for Donny too. Does he put? He didn't start Donny the first time, and it was Newcastle.
It was the first
just
game.
Getting him back in. Yeah. But right beside Alan there, Alan really does great work defensively as well, and he can move the ball. I think it's an interesting pivot to me. I like it.
Alan, he has some good games in back.
He does.
I don't really rate him.
I'm not blown away by him, but I think he's the one that can focus on the defensive end and know that Donny's going to be there, putting in work defensively as well. Really, actually, I'm very interested to watch this match. That's the 10 on Saturday. That's the one I'll be putting on for sure. Liverpool Norwich can go, which piss off. I'm going to go 2-1 Everton. I think we're going to have a really tight, exciting match here as well. I think there's going to be plenty of chances. I think it could be even higher scoring. I'm going to be surprised by a 2-2 or 3-2 as well. I think both teams are going to be respecting each other, but they're also going to, they're going to feel like they can
draw.
No, I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
A 2-1.
I'm going to 2-1 Everton. But yeah, I think they both feel like this is a winnable game, and let's just try to build on what we did last week in Southampton for the last couple. All right. For me, not as an intriguing matchup. City Spurs. City hosting Spurs.
No, yeah, it would have been 2-3 weeks ago. I think we're starting to see that even Conte is losing hope. He's not as hopeful as he was when he took the job. And after what they did to Mourinho, I don't know why he did. Maybe he thought he would get more leeway with
Molly Ingram, VYNFY. Vin? Who are we talking about? Molly, please give us a little more there. But I'm not sure.
Okay. But what was I saying? Spurs. That loss to Southampton was crushing. And 3 weeks ago, they were very hopeful with all these games in hand, knowing that if they won them, they could jump to fourth by a few points.
What does VYN stand for? I need to know. This is killing me. Unless she's referring to a name, but I can't. We were talking about Broja. VYNFY.
I'm not sure. Unless if she writes again, we won't know. But
Vegetarian Youth Network.
No, I don't think so. With Spurs beating City in the first game of the match of the season, City's going to come out for blood. They're going to get the revenge. They're going to hammer it. They're going to hammer them. I'm saying 3-0, and I'm thinking like 2-0 after 20, and it's just a possession based. Yeah. Like maybe because of like Son and maybe Mora on the counter, they get 1 or 2 good chances, but I think it's just going to be an utterly dominant City performance, and they're going to keep the foot down on Liverpool, right? They have to keep this lead as long or stretch it to put the fear in Liverpool. Obviously, as I said before, I think Liverpool are focused on Champions League, and I think they're going to go far on that. But I don't see any ways.
It's a good stretch of games for Liverpool. I think it's Norwich and Leeds.
Yes.
In the next couple.
And that will help for goal difference because they're.
Well, I'm triple captaining Salah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he plays and Klopp doesn't say, I brought him back for Inter so he can rest. That's what I'm worried about.
I actually do think he will not start one of the matches.
I know.
I do.
Oh, Salah?
Yep.
He'll start Inter.
Oh, he'll start Inter. But just quickly with fantasy.
Go with Leeds and Norwich.
It's a double week. Right. He's not starting both. They brought in Diaz too. They have depth now. They have depth. He's not going to start both. I know.
But hopefully he bags a hat trick against Norwich.
I think Norwich is the one he's going to bench for.
No, don't say that. Yeah. But I hope he doesn't and he gets a hat trick and it's like, you can't. You can't not start me again. You can't.
Man, I don't know. Who is going to be stepping up for Spurs? And let's not talk about the attacker because the attack needs to get the ball. There's
talk about the midfield?
Who is getting in there? Is Bentancur?
He's starting. He's going to start.
He started against Wolves. Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Spanked. I didn't watch it. I don't know how he performed. All I know is that they lost 2-0.
No, Lloris had a stinker. You didn't see the goals? The second goal? Lloris, don't watch it.
No, I actually forgot to watch his highlights, but I read when it was 1-0 that he made like a great double save and almost kept out Jimenez for the first.
Was that the first goal then? Oh, sorry, yeah. So it wasn't a great double save. You'll see it. It technically on paper it was a double save, not a great double save.
Okay,
could have done better.
Okay. So I totally forgot to watch his highlights, and the ticker was very misleading then.
Don't say it was. It was the first save. Yeah, second save. Mm-hmm. He caused the goal by punching it into trouble. But
I mean, confidence has to be on the floor for this match. And
yes,
and you're going to say like, who are you starting in the back? Is it Dyer and Sanchez?
Sanchez is starting.
Dyer might be back.
What are you going to Tanganga?
Honestly, he hasn't been in the last couple games. He might be worth a shout. Joe Rodon does not ever come close to that team. I don't know why they bought him.
Well, it'll be Davies on the left, probably Sanchez in the middle.
And Tanganga?
No, but who else? Who do they play on? It was Southampton. They had. Who was
Emerson Royale? Who was just shocking.
Didn't he come on the? Oh no, yeah, he was because that was the goal that I don't know how they still allowed that goal to still stand. How did they set up against Wolves?
Oh, Romero's back.
Oh yes.
Well, you know what? You got to give Romero a run out because that was his first match back against. I don't know. Again, I didn't see it. I don't know how he performed. Davies, Romero, Sanchez.
It's probably
going to be that. Yeah, I think he obviously is never going back to Ryan Sessegnon again. We subbed him in the 28th minute.
For Kulusevski.
Kulu's going to start in this match. He's got it.
You think so? Over Mora?
Just no. Just he took out Kulu for Sessegnon. Yeah, I think he's going to.
But they were down 2-0.
They were,
so that's why he needed 4 attackers.
They were, but Kulu does play the wing back.
I want him to do well, but City. They're on a roll. They just won 5-0. They're on a roll. They're going to remember that Tottenham started this season beating them 1-0.
Is Jack Grealish going to start in this match?
It doesn't matter
because it has been Sterling, Mahrez, and Foden for the last 3 matches.
Grealish definitely doesn't start this match,
and they're all in great form.
Yeah,
but he does love squad rotation. It's odd. I've been surprised to see the same 3 for I think 3 matches in a row now. Do you think he shakes it up?
I don't think he can. with
Spurs
the
and
with the form they're playing right now. They're just,
it is. And you know what? And you want to sew up that Prem. I mean, Liverpool's still right there.
I think the only changes he might do are in the back.
Mm-hmm.
He might keep Stones on the right. He could put Walker back in there. He might even throw Zinchenko, have Cancelo.
No, I think it is Spurs. I think you do Cancelo and Walker,
and then Diaz, Laporte.
Yep. Yeah, I think you
would keeping like De Bruyne, Silva, and Rodri.
Yeah.
So just it is. Keep the best 11.
They're off next week too for champs, right? So why not?
They're off. No, the Champions League is like a month away. The second legs.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about they're off next week. Champions League. Oh, so they're not playing.
They're not playing. Yeah, they're
off. Sorry, I thought you were talking about because the legs are like a month apart, right?
Mm. They are.
Yeah, they're like 3 weeks.
That's wild,
isn't it?
Oh well, maybe because the Europa League has to catch up, right? They'll have to do that.
Yes, they have an extra round.
That's right. Well, yeah, I was surprised the Europa League. This is new, isn't it? Because I was surprised the Europa League was only doing half their matches this week, and normally they would still do I think all 32 in one day, right? Anyway.
Maybe.
Anyway, okay. So you have 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
It's not a bad scoreline, I have to say. It's really not. I'm going 3-1. I'm going to say Spurs snag one in there.
Hopefully it's cool. If it's Bentancur, he just solidified his starting place for the rest of the season.
Okay. Leeds United. Leeds versus United, to be clear. Leeds United versus Manchester United. Off to Ellen Road. Two teams in terrible form.
Well, you guys just won. That's not terrible form.
We played like ass.
You won.
I know, but we still played like ass. Regardless.
Yeah.
David De Gea, again, phenomenal. Great goal by Ronaldo. Some missed chances after we were given after Brighton took a red card. And still, some really bad missed chances. Ronaldo should have had 2 more. Yeah. Bruno absolutely should have scored again. Very reminiscent of the Middlesbrough miss. I don't know what's going on there. And then still, man, Brighton.
Welbeck almost.
They hit the crossbar,
yeah,
which would have been a screamer. It was a good save by De Gea again, and then Welbeck really should have done a lot better.
Yeah, it hit the net.
Maguire nowhere close to him.
That was Lindelof.
I'm not going in on Maguire. That was Maguire's side.
Yeah, but Maguire wasn't. It was Lindelof who was marking him while the ball. Maguire, he split the defenders, Welbeck, but Maguire was the near post defender.
Okay.
Lindelof was a far post, so it was Lindelof.
So Maguire deferred responsibility.
Well, no, his back's turned to him, so he doesn't know where he is. So Lindelof knows where he is, so he's got to follow. Right.
I just see Maguire, despite heading being his ability.
Okay.
His best trait.
It wasn't his fault in this one.
All right.
But you guys just won.
He was okay though.
You guys said not playing well. But
they had us hemmed in too. I know they were chasing the game, but we were truly sitting back there. I was like, man, we are just asking to blow this.
Because you did 2 games in a row.
3. Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
Lest we forget Middlesbrough. Leeds have just been just awful. I'm curious to see if
they were unlucky in the first half against Everton. Rodrigo hit 2 beautiful crossbars. It was unfortunate, but they didn't play. If one of those go in, it's a different game, I think.
Man, I'm not keen on going to Ellen Road right now. I'm really not.
Can Dan James play this game?
Yes, yeah, we sold him.
You sold him, right?
Yeah.
Dan James to score. I might do it.
Dan James to ski in. I think Varane will be back. He was sick. I think he should be back by as it's Sunday. We're playing Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
I think he should be back for that. It's weird, since we played Leeds, we've crushed them at home both times. Leeds just completely played into our hands.
It's been over before it started, pretty much those 2 games.
No, the second one. So this season it was 1-0 at half, and then Ayling scored a banger and made it 1-1, and then Greenwood scored immediately after, and then we just ran riot. And I think
that was the second half.
5-1. Yeah, it was all second half. Yeah, but Ellen Road, man, it was tight. It wasn't like it wasn't like it was Leeds like kind of keeping things together and not exposing themselves. That said, Phillips was again back for that match. He's still not there. He's the linchpin for that team. He is crucial, and I think honestly, without him, we'll be able to get it done. I'm not overly confident by any stretch, but I'm going to go 2-1 for United. And again, I mean, I really would just start Varane and Lindelof. Like,
Send a message.
Give it a go. No, it's been more than he's. I'm sorry, but Maguire's been given more than enough chances. Like, let another pairing get in there and let another person actually lead the club. Rashford, I think, should be our super sub. Our bench is so light now.
Yeah,
it's.
You get to use Tellez as a winger today, right?
We did, which what? It's like
surprising.
You're protecting the lead as well, and the bench is extremely light. I mean, I guess I know why he did it. He didn't really have much else to go for there, and I guess Tellez does have that like a little more defensive awareness, and will track back as opposed to Lingard doesn't really blow me away with his backtracking. Is his heart in it? I don't know. And I think Rashford should be our super sub. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Let his pace.
So Elanga should be starting?
I think so. I think Elanga for the time being should be the one to start. Yeah, he drew the red again as well today.
Yeah.
He's had some good moments. I think his confidence is definitely higher. I think Rashford does need to kind of work his way back into that team and offer a little more in terms of his play. And does it have to be McFred still?
Well, it's on the road, so you want Fred starting. That's for sure.
And McTominay does love to.
It would probably be McTominay Pogba, right?
It was McTominay and Fred today. Pogba
Yes.
on the bench today.
I think it was just because quick games in succession. And just coming back from injury, you don't want to push it with him.
Yeah,
that's what I think it was. But I think he'll start for this game. I guess he clearly likes McTominay over Fred, so I assume it'll be those two in the pivot. And I think he'll start Rashford this game. I think so, but hopefully Rashford can put in performance.
I mean, I'm not like shunning him by any stretch, but I think Elanga has been the one that has been performing, and it's been abundantly clear for a while that Rashford just hasn't been. He really hasn't been, and then you send that message. But I think you have to do the same thing with Maguire as well. Honestly, I think like Lindelof and Varane, and there's a couple matches where they played very well together, but against Leeds, they're fast paced, they're high tempo. I might go with Varane and Bailly if I were to choose myself. I would pick Varane. I would pick Varane Lindelof realistically, but specifically for this match, I would put those two in there.
Just throw Bailly in. Eh?
Why not? When Bailly comes in, when managers are forced to pick Bailly in recent memory, he's done quite well. He has.
Quite well? Then he would be a starter. He would be a starter if he did quite well.
You'd think so. But they just defer to Maguire. They always do.
He's the captain.
Well, they need to move away from that. They really, really do.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, Rangnick said that's not the solution. So
why is that?
Hey,
what is that?
So
he wasn't your buy. He wasn't. You weren't the one who made him captain. Why do you feel obliged to continue to pick him? What is going on there?
I think it feels like he doesn't want to cause turmoil. But if he wants to change,
are Maguire's feelings going to get hurt?
Yeah, they will.
He needs a wake-up call.
Well, his feelings might get hurt and he might play worse.
No, you just don't play him for a while. You let him stew on the bench for a bit and let him sort his shit out.
Who knows? Actually, I didn't give a prediction for this score. No. These games are always high scoring.
Last year was 1-1 at Elland Road.
I'm going 3-2 United.
Which one?
You're funny. Manchester United.
That's a little disrespectful to Leeds fans.
Oh my goodness! When you say 3-2 United, you think of Man U first. You don't think of Leeds. Leeds fans.
John never watches, but I'm clipping this. I'm sending.
Oh my! He should know. I know.
Dave might say Sheffield United.
Okay,
That's just
here we go. It's
laughable.
Manchester 3-2 Manchester United. So,
We finally got a C today.
what?
C.
Oh, the
Finally scored.
Yeah, I know. 20 consecutive years.
Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. We will be back on Monday, unless we pull one out of our ass, which I doubt. And yeah, I think we're, at least for the foreseeable future, moving to Mondays. So yeah,
It'll be Premier League recap will be fresh in our heads.
Yes, and the Champions League will both be previewed.
Yes, it's good. It's good, and we'll have to preview our two teams.
Yes, we will.
It's struggling.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! I just hope we both make it to the semi somehow. That would be
I'm
funny.
pulling for you.
We shock the world. We shock the world.
We draw each other. That'd be great.
No, that'll be great. That'll be great. One of us in the semis.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. I have no qualms with Juve whatsoever. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and until next week.
See.
Why did that? Honestly, why?